Hey sisters. Um, hey girl. Hey sis. How you doing? I pray all is well with you. All is well with me. So I'm coming to you to chat with you about um spiritual care. One second. Mm, mm. Girl, choose black tea or green tea over coffee. Okay. I know a few caffeines and life is hard for them. But anyways, spiritual care. So I know that we are familiar with self-care, and self-care it's needed. It is needed. And when I speak of self-care, I'm talking, self-care as in something that you do to improve your health. Now, according to social media, self-care looks like, from what I'm seeing is, getting your hair done and your nails did. And while those things are nice, they're not necessary. They're vain. What did the Lord say about beauty is vain? So, what are you doing, spiritually for the insides? Okay. It's nice to, decorate your outside all glitz and glam on the outside, but what are you doing for your spirit? What are you doing for your inside? Okay. You can't be out here looking all polished and pretty, and in the inside, your spirit is, just not well. Um, so that's what I'm coming to you to share with you about is, what biblical tools are there for us, for taking care of our spirit. So a little backstory. I was like sick. I caught a cold that took me out. I mean, man, down, and it put me down as well spiritually. Like I was just like, dang, man, I don't like getting sick, okay, because I got things to do. I got things to do, okay. And when you sick and you got a family to take care of, and oh my God, that's just a different type of pain. But so yeah, I caught a cold. So I spoke with my husband. Whenever I share, scripture or anything, I always meet with my husband and speak with him because he gives me, he provides me the wisdom as well, the knowledge and understanding of scripture. So thank the Lord for my King. So, I asked him, what can I do spiritually to, get well? Because, all this medication, I really don't like taking medication. So I met with my King and we talked. So he provided me some things, and some things I already knew about, like one being rest. Okay. It is so, like, rest is so important. And, I'm not talking about sleep. Of course, eventually we go to sleep, we need sleep, but rest. Most of us are working Monday through Friday. Some of us work Saturdays and Sundays, right? And, kids, some of, gotta go to school. And, so we're, ripping and running Monday, Sunday to Sunday pretty much, right? And it's like, when do you rest? Not sleep. Sleep is separate from rest. When do you rest? When do you sit down and kick your feet up and relax? Read scripture, just be still. Let's see what rest is according to the word, what that looks like. Okay, so we can start, of course, rest starts in Genesis. So we'll start with Genesis 2:2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. So the seventh day, the Most High ended his work and he rested on the seventh day. So, what is the seventh day, you ask? Okay, so if Sunday is the first day of the week, then that makes Saturday the seventh day. So, we are supposed to be resting on Saturday, and there is a scripture in the Bible, I don't have it right now, that says, biblically, days began at sundown, Leviticus 23:32. From Friday evening to Saturday evening, we're supposed to be resting. We used to do a lot of things on Saturdays, and like I said, come Sunday, now you got to reset, you got to get kids together, you got to do all these things, and it's just a hamster wheel. You just gotta keep on going and going and going and going. So now that when we came into the truth, that Sabbath day was a relief. It's so needed. Like, Sabbath day is my favorite day. It's my favorite day. It's so needed. Like I said, you're constantly on this hamster wheel, and when do you like really sit down and just able to just breathe? The Most High commanded the Sabbath day a holy day. So he commanded us to keep the Sabbath, and it's a holy day. So in Exodus 28:11 reads as follows: Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. So the Sabbath day is really a commandment. So we're supposed to be keeping these commandments, okay? And one thing that I thought about, like, most crime happens over the weekends, Fridays and Saturdays, over the weekends, right? And it's like, why do you think that is? Because we're not keeping this commandment. We're supposed to be in the house resting from Friday evening to Saturday evening. Resting. That's why all this crime is going on, happening, because we're being disobedient. If you're someone who say, I love the Lord, well, if you love the Lord, what is that? What does that look like? So John 14:15 says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. If you love the Lord, you will keep his commandment, and you will keep his commandments, and you will keep the Sabbath. I know there are, some Christians out there who are like, well, these laws are done away with. The lie detector test determined that was a lie. We have been misled. And, that's something that I learned when coming into the truth. It's so important to do your own research and read for yourself. Okay, read this word for yourself as well. Get an understanding too. Argue with your mama, because Matthew 5:17 says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So that was Christ. Christ said he came to fulfill the law, not to destroy or get rid of anything. So the next tool for spiritual care is fasting. Now, I always knew of fasting because I was raised in Islam. So I knew of fasting. Did I ever really do it? No. No, I did not. And, upon with chatting with my king, he asked me when I was sick, he asked me, did you fast? And I was like, no, I didn't. So anyways, I think the next day I went into a fast. I did a 2-day fast. I only ate one meal a day. And I ate that meal like around 7:38, like later on in the night. And so I would eat, and then fast, and then break my fast. Once I did that, I like the results. Just, I started to feel so much better quickly. Like, it was amazing. Like, fasting is powerful. And an example of fasting is when Esther fasted. So read the book of Esther if you're not familiar with it. It's a really good book. So a little, backstory of it. So Esther, she needed to save her people, pretty much, right? She needed to save her people because, somebody put out a hit on them, and, her uncle was like, yeah, you got to do something about this. And, Esther, I'm sure, like, she wanted to meet with the king to see if they're, to have this all stopped. And I know, like, from what I got from it, I know she was feeling very scared. She wasn't sure what was going to happen to her or her people. So let's read it. Esther 4:16 reads as follows. So, go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye from me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to law. And if I perish, I perish. It seems like Esther was, she just wasn't sure what was going to happen. So in order to kill that fear and, do what she needed to do and to save her people, she fasted. Okay, she fasted. And if you continue to, like I said, if you read that story, you'll see the results. Esther fasted, and she knew about the power of fasting as well. The people around her fasted, and all was well after that. Okay, so fasting is very powerful. So Psalms 35:13. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into my own bosom. So when you're fasting, you're not putting so much into your body. Your body is going to be able to flush out those toxins or that mucus out, better with, liquids than with solid foods. So Psalm 69:10 says, when I wept and chastened my soul with fasting, that was to my reproach. So I was watching this show called The Godfather of Harlem. And in it, Bumpy Johnson, good show. Check it out, good show. In it, Bumpy Johnson had a daughter who, once was a fiend. So the Muslims took her in, and they were, cleaning her up, trying to get her cleaned up. And how they did it, they show a scene where, they had, all the fiends in beds, like handcuffed to the bed, and literally they handcuffed them to the bed, and that's how they tried to fast. They tried to chasten them, help them to chasten their flesh, like inflict their flesh with fasting. Okay. And if there's something that you are struggling with, or an addiction to something, I'm sure we all have some type of addiction. Fasting, you need to fast from it. Inflict your flesh. So along with fasting is prayer, because you need to speak to the Most High, and you need to ask Him for guidance, for strength, for healing, to help see you through. So you need to pray. Okay, Psalms 55:16-17 says, as for me, I will call upon God, and the Lord shall save me. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry out loud, and He shall hear my voice. So you got to fast, you got to pray. He's coming any day. So you have to pray. Okay, talk to the Lord, call upon Him. And it says evening and morning and at noon. We should be praying. Okay, like I said, I was in Islam. That's where they get it from. Muslims pray about 3 times a day, and this is where they get it from. Okay, the Bible, the Quran is a replica of the Bible. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray. So speak to the Lord. Ask for, like I said, support, guidance, wisdom, the knowledge to help you overcome whatever you need to overcome, to help you feel better and get your spirit, back up, right? So that light can shine out. Luke 11:9. And I say unto you, ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. So you got to ask, you got to seek, and you shall find. So pray. Fasting and prayer, they just go together, hand in hand. The next spiritual tool, this one, my king definitely gave to me. This is important for spiritual care. Examine yourself. 2 Corinthians 13:5 says, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobate. So examine yourselves whether ye be in faith. So are you keeping these commandments? Let's start with the Sabbath. Are you keeping the Sabbath day to get the rest that you need? Because that's a commandment. That is one of the 10 commandments. It's declared. It's a holy day. So are you keeping that? And I know, like, the world still goes around Okay, the world's not going to stop. But who are you going to follow? Are you going to follow man, or are you going to follow the Lord? You know, I know Saturday is a big day for most of us. Okay, me and my king, we like kicks. you know about them. We know them Saturday drops be happening on Saturday at 10 a.m. But we're in this truth and we sticking to it. Okay, that's the truth, and we sticking to it. Sisters, this world wants us broke, busted, and disgusted. Okay, and the Lord is like, no, you need rest. Get your rest. Okay, get your rest. So that's Saturday. Listen, I have a business too. Business is closed, okay, on Saturday. Are you applying scripture to your life? You know, those things that you do, that you have learned and that you are learning, and are you applying those to your life? Are you for this word, or are you for the worldly streets? What are you doing that, is causing you to possibly feel this way? Like, for example, okay, some things are out of our control, like, me catching a cold, caught it from my kids. That's usually how it happens, but it's like, my husband didn't catch it. So what am I doing? Okay. Am I eating well? What am I doing? I got to examine myself. Whatever, you got going on, you really got to ask yourself these questions and examine yourself. The last tool that I have is read and meditate. Revelations 1:3. Blessed is he that readeth and that heareth the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So you need to be reading this word. Okay, this is my tablet, but I do have my physical Bible. This is just easier for me to have everything on here. But you need to be reading this word. Okay, now is the time. I know you heard these last days. Now is the time, like, to increase your knowledge and pray to the Lord. Seek the Lord. Ask the Lord for wisdom and understanding. Meditate. Also meditate on it. So 1 Timothy 4:15. Meditate upon those things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profiting may appear to all. So, meditate on it. Think about it. Those are some tools for spiritual care. Okay, like I was saying, sis, don't be looking so good. Okay, it's like putting lipstick to a pig. Yes, 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 lipstick to a pig. Okay, spiritual care, because that's more important than this physical. The Lord doesn't care nothing about this stuff. Okay, this stuff can be gone tomorrow. Lord forbid, well, we don't need nothing crazy to happen, but this stuff gone tomorrow will, the most important thing is the kingdom. Okay, I pray that this helps you in some type of way. Please like, comment, and share. Join. I really want to build a community, so like, subscribe, and I pray that we get to see each other in the kingdom. Okay, that's what we're striving for, the kingdom. Okay, remember to be that light. Be that light. It says, be that light in the world. Strive to be like Christ. All right, chat with y'all later.